Hello, my name is Laura, and it's a privilege to be able to share with you guys today. I don't know about you, but I hate making mistakes. It is the worst feeling when you feel like you've messed up and that other people have seen it and it's going to impact others. I hate it. But I'm letting you know that as a leader, you will make lots of mistakes. One example is when I was in a leadership position, and there was a situation in one of our teams, and I should have spoken into it. I should have said something, but it was complicated. I wasn't sure what to say. I knew it would probably be a bit messy, so I didn't say anything. I just put it off. And as a result of my poor communication or lack of communication, people got hurt. There was more miscommunication, and the situation did not end well. I made a mistake, and it cost people. People actually got hurt. And I had to apologize. I had to take responsibility for my part in that and say, I messed up. I made a mistake. There's an American author called Pete Scazzero, and he talks about being an emotionally healthy leader. He has a quote. He says, as pastors, we get into trouble, not because we forget we are pastors, but because we forget we are humans with weaknesses, vulnerabilities, and severe limits. The same can be said about leaders, about any leader, really. We can forget that we are human, that humans make mistakes. Sometimes we feel like we have to be perfect, that we always have to know the right thing to say or do the right thing. But in reality, we are humans. There's 3 lessons I want to share with you that I've learned from my mistakes. One lesson I've learned is to just admit that we made mistakes. It's healthy. It's important. It keeps us humble. None of us like making mistakes. None of us. But we do, and we need to be honest when we do. These words can be so powerful. I'm sorry, I made a mistake. The best leaders that I've been around are really good at saying, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. So that's one lesson I've learned, is just to be honest and take the responsibility for when you mess up. A second lesson I've learned is that too often I dwell on the mistake. I stay in that place. Thinking it through. My thoughts stay in that place. Oh, I could have done this different. Oh, I feel bad. I feel like this is the worst thing ever. I've been reading this book lately. It's called Shattered. It's by a friend of mine who lost his 20-year-old daughter in an accident. So he knows a lot about disappointment and grief, things like this. And he says in this book, through the process, I'm learning that there's a fine line between remembering and dwelling. We can often just make our home, dwell, our thoughts, our emotions can just stay in that place of disappointment or shame for messing up, or even self-condemnation for the mistakes we've made. But actually, those things just trap us. It just keeps us there. Dwelling on our mistakes can actually bring more pain and more condemnation because we're just staying there. And let's remember, our dwelling, the place we should be abiding, is in Jesus, not in our pain or our disappointment. Let's learn as leaders to not dwell in the mistakes we have made and the pain of that, but to remember them and learn from them, but always to remember to abide in Christ. That's where we move on. That's where we move forward. That's been a really good lesson for me as a leader. Not just to stay in that place, but to keep moving with the Lord. My last lesson that I'd want to share today is about, I actually learned from another leader. We had a situation where someone really messed up. I mean, real life consequences, real life pain, really difficult situation. And as me and this other leader were sitting with this person, just kind of talking through what to do. How does it look? What are your choices? These kind of things. And this other leader said to this person, and I feel in quite a prophetic way. She said, this does not have to define you. God has you on a journey. This is not the end of what God has for you. And this really challenged me because I was like, man, this person messed up. Like, it doesn't have to define them, but it really is, you know, it could kind of take them out, so to speak. But I really felt that it was such a powerful message, and it was such a good reminder that our mistakes don't have to define us unless we let them. We don't have to allow them to define who we are going into the future. It's not the end of what God's called us to do or to be. It challenged me, and it really it focused me a bit more on allowing my mistakes as a leader to grow me in humility. I need more of that, all of us. To grow me in compassion, to become better at listening, or to make wise choices. These are things that mistakes can really help us grow in if we let them. Our mistakes can be some of the best ways that we can learn. And as humans, as leaders, we need opportunity to learn. We need opportunity to grow. And I just want to challenge all of us not to be afraid of making a mistake, but to actually embrace it as a learning opportunity, to embrace it as a way to grow, and to allow God to work in us through those times when we mess up. It's been a privilege speaking to you today.